Welcome back with a bit of a delay. Uh, Today we were gonna have the the two reviews from this past weekend. We were gonna keep up with the Treehouse release as much as we can, but couldn't find the episodes. For some of us, um, so we're gonna go ahead and it's only Doc and I because Madrock is I think he's off to
Pony.
he's off to a con at the moment. So if you are at Ever Free, go find him.
And run away screaming because he's probably going to do the naked monkey dance.
Yes, and apparently there's a truck. But we're gonna go do pun here,
That's
and then we'll decide.
that's the
Yeah, I know. We're gonna do pun here for a bit, and then we'll go from there since it's just the two of us. So we'll see. And if you're interested in coming on the show, uh, all right. Before we get started, all right. Pun Pony in three, two, one. If you put two ducks in front of two ducks behind two ducks, and two ducks in between two ducks, how many ducks do you have?
Hmm. Oh, I see. That was easy.
Due to the power of duck.
That question was ridiculous.
Well, the golden rule says to treat others as you'd like them to treat you.
Actually, you should treat others 20% better than you'd like to be treated to compensate for the subjective bias. Marigold can do some amazing things with statistics and business knowledge, but interactions between ponies can't always be expressed in numbers and formulas to predict the best return investments.
You're uh, a little, well, murderous when it comes to changelings. Did something happen between you and them? Sorry if this has been asked before. Her.
Here,
Good.
oh,
Sorry. That
I
is.
thought that was her.
Nah.
Yeah. Here is some footage of what happens to ponies captured by swarmers.
Why is that mare swollen and crying? Oh. Oh my. Oh no, they're. Those things need to be destroyed.
My work here is done. I let her keep the trash can. She'll need it.
Suddenly, pineapples. Cousin
Cousin,
Applejack. Wait.
go ahead. I think
Cousin
that's it.
Applejack won't let me on the farm for the reunion. She says I ain't a real apple.
Some ponies are rather set in their ways, and farm ponies tend to be exceptionally rigid in their views. Blood should be stronger than butt marks.
Divide by zero.
I tried. I really tried. So, what's it like to surf competitively?
It's a test of your skill against your opponent's luck.
Surfing seems to be the opposite of Lost Pegasus, where your luck's against your opponent's skill.
How do pony? Oh wait, this is Ace.
Oh, how do ponies hold stuff with hooves?
To understand how we hold objects requires one to understand pony magic. Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns each have a different grip. All ponies have what is known as magic, which is a valuable field of life force. Although many unicorns like to think they have a trademark on the word magic. Unicorns use their horn to project their life force away from themselves. This often results in a diminished lifespan. Few unicorns live long enough to be grandparents. Pegasi surround themselves with a field of magic. This field alters the laws of physics, which lets them fly and move clouds, as well as providing sensory input. Earth ponies internalize magic, improving our health and strength. We're gifted with such vigor that we shrug off any wound less than a broken bone. So, unicorns project their field to hold something, Pegasi shift the laws of physics on their hooves, and Earth ponies extend their field to pull objects towards them.
Rubik has some interesting theories about magic, but he's also got a graduate of Canterlot University of Magic. How he got that diploma is another story for another time. Hi, Derpy. Delivery.
Hiya, Toots, you got a date for the summer sun celebration? I'm looking for a gal with a great sense of humor to tag along with, and you definitely fit the bill on that one.
Derpy, when was this mailed? Now I see why some folks ship Derpy and the doctor. She'd need time travel to deliver on time. Sometimes she's so fast that she delivers the letter before they're even written. At least that's one theory why so many envelopes survive empty.
Soda beverages belonging to the human world in Equestria? That's kookamamie.
There are certain advantages to being among the tumbler pone, such as the gifts you kind folks often send. You folks are where I got these things. I do appreciate when you folks send me these nice things. It helps offset some of the meaner comments that hit the inbox. I'm glad you're such a mature stallion, Rubik.
Colts never really mature, we just learn how to act in public.
I think Rubik is more mature than he lets on, since there's still stuff you can get away with at his age if you don't know any better.
Where does a Mustang fit in the pony universe?
In my garage. What, do you think I trotted or took train everywhere I had to go?
I need a volunteer to escort run for the day in the Royal Archives. Not it, not it, not it, not it. Dang it.
Life can be rough for the Royal Guard sometimes, like those of the four inept guard ponies.
How are you so pretty?
I exercise regularly, I maintain a healthy diet, and I treat myself to the spa once a week. Exercise, diet, and spa, not necessarily in that order.
How many bowls of soup is my soul worth?
How many do you think it's worth? I can offer you a super deal on it.
Next page.
So, how much can you make as a sculptor?
1 second, sorry. If I work hard, I can make 6 figures a year.
Wow, that's a lot of. He's not talking about bits, is he? So, your talent is questing?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Ever
it.
done a quest more than once?
Not that I can remember. Why?
Just curious if you do requests.
Uh,
You can see more of that questing pony over at Ask Pony Piper.
how to be famous?
Becoming famous takes time, effort, and most importantly, proper grammar. Sorry, Sea Swirl, but there are no shortcuts to the kind of fame that's worth having. I really am Pun Pony.
Sorry, but ponies get their cutie marks when they discover what they're good at. So that she has grown up being told that she is good at rather than getting to discover it doesn't exactly make sense, even if it happened when she was young. My lady is rather sensitive about this, so I'll explain the issue with her cutie mark. It's said that even as time dulls our memories, the moment you got your cutie mark remains a sharp memory for life. But Melanie got her cutie mark when she was just a few weeks old, so she doesn't remember it. Some jealous fillies started a rumor Melanie's cutie mark was fake, so she didn't make any friends at school. Fillies put a lot of importance on their quinceanera party. Melanie never had one since she always had her cutie mark. She's not even sure what her talent is. She's good at melon farming, but she grew up on a melon farm, so she's never felt it took any particular talent to farm melons. It's no wonder she resents her cutie mark and wants to find her real talent.
Here it is, the story behind Melanie's cutie mark. Hey, Switch Track, how are you feeling?
After that accident, I'm glad to be feeling anything.
My pal Switch Track over from Pony Train Station just finished his first story arc, but not unscathed. Care to help me send him some love and support?
So, does playing with language come naturally, or does it require research?
Language is always evolving, thus the need for my royal court position of expert on the origin of place names. If you know where your language has been, you can predict where it will go. It's easy to study when it's something you're passionate about.
How do your friends deal with winter?
I didn't know cyborgs could get cold.
I forgot my winter gear.
I'm not sure what kind of gear he's talking about. Perhaps you folks can swing by and ask Copper Cog and figure it out.
Do you like Steam?
Who's a good gaming platform? Steam, Steam, Steam! Yes, you are.
Origin? Origin, origin. Origin.
Steam. Get out of here. Nobody wants you in their Pokedex.
Origin.
Steam. I don't care if you have exclusive origin. Those exclusives being the only reason folks use you is not a point in your favor.
I know you're a member of the Luna God, but are you actually friends with any of them?
I consider Adamant and Adamant's butt my friends.
My butt?
You know, Westwood.
You called?
A bit of an in-joke among the guards, but if you also follow my supervisors at Ask the Night Guards, then you'll totally get it.
I see what you're saying.
Of course you can. It's called a speech bubble. And in case you were wondering, speech bubbles taste like old marshmallows.
Facts you didn't know you wanted to know. I miss the old 8-bit era. Do you remember?
I remember these 8-bit games from when I was your age.
8 bits? They must be really good to cost that much.
Button mash. How do you beat an arcade game? 1 bit at a time.
I got that voice also kind of works for button mash.
It does.
How do you come up with all these puns? We've checked around. You haven't been referencing any massive secret pun databases. Are you really just that good?
You must be new to Equestria. This is a cutie mark, and it shows the natural talent of a pony. I asked Lyra if humans have cutie marks, and she said only if they made a bad decision or lost a bet, whatever that means.
If you were a character in a video game, what abilities would you have?
Trot left, trot right, and jump. I'm always going the right way, since the screen won't move if you try to go left. I'll have a large cider. No ice. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want it on the rocks? You make a lot of rock jokes.
How does Mud drink apple cider?
My best friend, Sunshine Morning, gets all sorts of her cafe.
What's the meaning of life?
Finding the answer is the answer. Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make
Wait,
sense. Oh, that's another page?
another page. Do you want to?
Oh.
You want to keep going?
Up to you. I just didn't realize it was another page.
Well, we started at 12, so we're actually moving quite quickly. So,
Yeah,
why don't we just take advantage of it and plow through
sure.
some pages here?
Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator. I bet you were expecting another haiku in the post comments. Learning to deal with disappointment builds character. You're welcome.
Where are all the dragons?
Princess Celestia and the dragon royalty have an agreement about dragons residing in Equestria. To avoid conflict, a certain number of dragons are allowed to reside within Equestria, within a certain distance of the border. The number of dragon residents is set by Princess Celestia. Which dragons get to be residents is decided by the dragon royalty. That's why you only see big dragons in Equestria. There's a fierce annual competition for the right to reside within Equestria. And yes, by an exception, there's a clause in the agreement that Princess Celestia may sponsor a dragon to reside in Equestria. Yar! There's no force that can stand against a pirate. I know at least one. Oh yeah? Show me. As you wish. Lay me. I'll keelhaul you for this. Sorry, Pirate Dash, but our local ninja Baki wins this round.
You sound like you need a nap.
Now I understand the warning label on the cloud walking potion of may cause drowsiness. These clouds are so comfortable.
But that is quite dangerous.
Yeah,
if the
it is.
potion runs out.
That's why it's a low-hanging cloud.
It's fog.
Why not take the ring as far from Sauron as possible instead of towards him?
Because that would have been a very boring movie.
Just hanging out with my pal Movie Slate, enjoying some classic movies.
Hands over cider.
Oh, neat, cider. Thank you very much. Hands! You see, Lyra, this is why we can't have nice things.
Sword, shield, or magic staff?
Sword, magic staff, shield. Why pick one when you've got all three?
What's your opinion on pony dragon marriages?
I know quite a few Kieran in the Night Guard, so I'm familiar with this topic. It's a bit of a sore subject for most of them. Kieran come from a young male dragon and a female pony. For all intents and purposes, they're regular ponies. The reverse of genders yields Quillen, with a dragon with pony features. Hold on. Dragons live a very long time. 100 years is a nap for them. Some dragons today remember the time before the alicorns. Most relations between a pony and a dragon are youthful indiscretions, and cases of male dragons sticking around to be a parent or partner lack citation. While many Kirin resent their draconic parents, there's a lesser-known side of the story. Dragon society is brutal, and any perceived weakness is pounced upon by rivals. it was known that a dragon had pony offspring, that offspring and its mother would become leverage for a dragon rival.
Like, what would happen if you were to swap gender for a while?
I wonder what it would be like to be a male pony. But this isn't the kind of package I thought I'd be carrying around. What's in the box? Only the one I'm delivering it to will find out.
What's your favorite all-time joke?
A broken clock is right twice a day. A slow clock can be forever wrong. There's some profound psychological statement to be made from this joke. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Red coat with brown mane never looks good. It looks so tacky.
I agree. Normally I wouldn't take fashion advice from Tumblr, but you're totally right on this one.
Fun? Are you ticklish?
Good luck finding out. I don't feel comfortable lowering my guard around you folks to the point that you can find out if I'm ticklish.
Ever had a situation that you felt like making a pun, but didn't have any in mind?
Sometimes staying silent says exactly what you want to say. No punchline today, just silence.
Do you like muffins?
I got my mind on my muffins and my muffins on my mind.
A sunshine morning. Do you ever try different kinds of sunglasses, or do you like to stick with the classics?
Draw some sunglasses for sunshine morning. Click here to download image file. Details in the text below. Draw some sunglasses for sunshine morning. Submit the picture here. And we'll animate all of them together. Deadline is August 1st, 2015. I think that's a little over.
That's the end of the page as well.
Okay.
It seems like a decent place to stop.
And that would be 73 when we
72.
start again?
Yeah, 73 is the next time. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. Pun delete and oh come on. Mark prep and done. Okay.
I just have them in my tabs at the beginning of my list on my phone.
Well, what I do is I delete the old favorite, go to the page we're gonna start on, favorite that, and put it in my prep folder so I can just go, oh, I need to go into my prep folder and find what I need to find. Oh, there it is. Click. Okay. So what do we want to do now? I mean, we could just call
The
it
same
right
thing
there.
we do every night, Kinky. Try to
Try
take
to
over
take
the
over
world.
the world. I need to work on that. I keep forgetting.
No, that would be so great. We'd have Pinky and the brain. No.
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Brian, did you eat Morgan Freeman again?
Yes, it's inside my plan to take over the world. I needed the power of Morgan Freeman's voice in order to. It's just gradually morphing into it because he uses the same kind of
I know.
sound.
Although
It's just
it was supposed to be more of an Orson
yeah, I
Welles.
know. Yeah, they both have that kind of deep, rich sound to their voice. And so to construct that sort of voice, you end up with a Morgan Freeman starting up. But it doesn't. Yeah, it's both got that deep, rich kind of to their voice.
Yeah.
But Brains is more sharp.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yes. You see, at least Pinky is high enough that I can reach it.
Yeah. There's no way you can reach Brain. But yeah, I mean, and then on the flip side, there's no way I could reach some of the you know, actual Pinkie Pie. And I
I
could do
can't actual Pinkie Pie. I can get kind of close, but it's way too high for me because this is the highest I can get without actually hurting my voice.
the most I can do is I can kind of do my Fluttershy is really high on my scale. Of course, I can also do Button Mash, and he's kind of high too, 'cause he's a little kid. But he's also got this cool
Really? I
little
thought
extra bit on it. What?
You mean the vocal fry? I
Yeah.
thought he was high because of all the weed he smoked while playing his video games.
I don't do that.
Totally do.
Not all gamers are stoners. If
That's
you want
what
to
he
have
used.
good Twitch, good Twitch reflexes, you can't be stoned.
Well, true. I mean, you probably get bruised from that.
I gotta up my API, and weed doesn't help that.
I
Caffeine
don't know.
does.
No, caffeine dulls your senses actually, because after a while you become dependent on it.
Well, I imagine if you used it sparingly enough, you could use it for short bursts.
Hmm.
Apparently, you sound like you sucked helium. Was that meant for me or Doc? With the pinky. Madrock's in the chat. He can't talk. He can't
I
broadcast.
could actually say that I smoked helium. Not smoked it, sucked it. That's what she said.
Anyway, but
Helium.
yeah, I've got loads to talk about for next week. For Philly, not so much, but parental guidance, I have a lot to talk about.
Ah.
Because it does change how you see how some characters are.
Spoilers, sweetie.
Nothing more than that. Just that that's all I'm gonna tell you. Not which characters, not how it changes it.
I'm so happy. Twisted Tunes fixed their Beauty and the Beast audio.
Oh,
The audio on that one was like it cut out and it peaked so badly that you could barely hear it at points.
yeah.
And it actually went off the scale so that you couldn't hear it at some points, especially at the beginning. And it had a buzz because of it, but they fixed it and the audio is great now and it's just fucking hilarious. Because Twisted Tunes is effing awesome.
Yeah, I've got to see. What all have I done lately with that? I got more scripts for my Naruto project, but I can't do anything with them yet because we actually got enough extras now that there's not like 2 or 3 people doing extras. There's like 10 of us now, so now it's split up much more, and I've got like 2 kind of tertiary characters and extras, and so they're going to throw me into. They said they were going. The leader of it was like, okay, I'm going to send you out episode 21 script, and then I'm going to tell you assign parts so that we actually have. Okay, you do this, you do that, you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've got scripts, but I don't know where I will be needed. So it's been
I
nice. I finished all my stuff last month, like as soon as I got it. So I've had like a month off from doing anything for that project.
yeah, I've not really recorded much lately because I've been busy with
Things.
stuff around here,
Yeah.
But I will soon, hopefully, start re-recording my Karai, Angel, and Lindsay lines. I need to find out where I left off on that. And my cousin and I are planning on setting up a Patreon so I can hopefully get some commissions on my voice work
Nice.
because we need money.
Yeah.
And money is helpful. Hi, puppy.
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi to people? Hey, puppy. Where's your head? Ow. You want to say hi to? You want to say hi? Say hi. Stop hiding. I said say hi, not say hide. Puppy, look. Wave hi. Are you hiding? Are you hiding from the people on the screen? Say hi, you're on TV. Kind of. I mean, I'm sure you could be on TV because they do have that YouTube app on the TV.
Well, he's not actually on that because of the way I do recordings. It's not actually recording the Skype window. It's just recording the Chrome window.
Ah.
I have to set up a whole nother thing to get that to work.
You showing your doggy? Okay, so fanfic or what? He's asking. Huh? You broke it?
Frankly, I really don't care. I don't care if we don't do anything else. Just something we can upload and then say I could say in the comments, hey, Drock wasn't here and we couldn't find the episode. Like just leaving that first little bit.
Yeah.
Trim that in and say here, and that should let them know what's going on.
No Maydrock, no naked dance party. You can do Maydrock, you do that at the con and let's watch how fast you get kicked out. Puppy, no naked dance party.
Yes, Madrock is communicating via text on Skype, so we're just kind of.
Yeah, Maydrock said,
Yeah.
yes, we are fun. Ask Puppy. Puppy, am I fun? Hey, he's laughing up a storm, so clearly I am fun. So, suck it. Suck it, Maydick.
Yeah.
Puppy, are you trying to suffocate me? Why are you covering my face with a blanket?
Yeah. Oh, the next page of pun reminds me of I've started working again on my fic after leaving it on a cliffhanger for like a couple of years. It's probably about 3/4 of the way done of the first
Nice.
draft. Like I'd do like I'd write like just getting the ideas, mostly getting in, big modules of like, okay, I know I want to have this scene, I write that scene, and then I write whatever the transitory little transitioning stuff between it. And the dialogue is always kind of garbage at first because it's like, okay, I'm just trying to get the idea down. I can always upgrade the language later. And so the first pass is just, here's all the scenes, some transitions, and some basic dialogue, and then as it goes on, I'll refine the dialogue. And this will either be the final one just to get it done, or the penultimate one,
There's sunlight.
and then I'll have the epilogue. I've had the epilogue written for a very long time because I know how I want to end it, but I don't know how. Well, I know how I want to epilogue it, but I don't know how I want to necessarily. What at what point do I want to go? Okay, that's enough because it's written as vignettes and little slices of stories, not necessarily a cohesive narrative. Just kind of this happened and this happened and this happened. It's just kind of a life story.
Most of my fanfics, I don't really have that much of a plan for them. I start writing and it keeps going and going and going until I like screw it. I need to finish this.
Yeah, I'd turn around and like when I've only written a couple of fanfics. Like, well, I've written I think 3 fics total before this one, and they're all 3 finished. But they were like 30 something chapters each, and thoroughly. A lot of them was they didn't start out as particularly well planned, but when I realized, hey, I want to make this into a big thing, I kind of planned them out to a certain extent.
Don't fall off your bed, kid. That's a very high fall.
Oh wait, 4. No, I have 4 complete because I have a couple one shots that I did, and yeah, it's all in some of the stuff that's dragging me down is just making sure I get the Whovian continuity stuff right. Make sure I don't. I mean, I am dealing with I kind of created this universe the way it works to a certain extent, so I do have some leeway with how things actually turned out. But other than that, I'm just like, oh, you know, like I want to make sure I get the personality of the war chief right. You know, so I went with kind of a generic. He doesn't talk a lot, and he's kind of that generic kind of Doctor Who, kind of classic Who villain, sort of. That's not a Cyberman or a Dalek. It's kind of kind of kind of that arrogant, but kind of
Mainly master or Delgado master.
kind of, but I guess kind of. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of them have that same kind of. I am the Grand Chess Master, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. You know, and but getting that personality right. But then again, I do have leeway because again, the events that happened in like, and I got a really clever bit. So if you're actually reading my fic and you don't want to be spoiled, stop listening for a moment. But like, what was I gonna say? Distracted myself. Um, but there is actually a couple of interesting things I like. Uh, in this universe, the time warp never happened the way it happened in Prime. It kind of, it, you know, the Doctor of this universe pushed the Daleks into a slice of time instead of the other way, instead of having to do that.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. I told you about that much. Well, I came up with the interesting idea that he actually, I think I already told you about this too, but the master was actually his friend, and he was actually using the fact that the master in that universe was good, and he was watching the dimensional, like the dimensional gatekeeping that the Time Lords were doing in that universe to watch Prime Doctor solve his problems. And because he watched the Prime Doctor solve his problem with the Time War, he actually, from that, he kind of cheated and found out, oh, wait, I could do this, and then use that as a way of stopping it in his universe from ever being a problem. But, eh. And then there's some interesting little extra time traveling bits, and thinking fourth dimensionally. But which him watching that actually prevented the master from becoming the master, and so it the problem solves itself. But I'm thinking just upload the pun for this week, maybe.
Yeah.
Just leaving the explanation at the front, and because I don't really feel like doing much this week. Unless you want to do like Ace or something.
I'm cool for anything, although might be better to just like cut it
Okay.
finish.
Okay. Well, if you want to stop it there, we'll stop it there for the moment, and we'll come back next week. And we'll have a very busy week next week with hopefully 4 reviews. But yeah, check for there's multi-part uploads.
No ponies.
If I find, here's what I may do is go, if I find a YouTube, like, I'll keep an eye out for like copies of next week's episode.
I'm going to look now because when we get off, because they might have uploaded it late. So
Yeah.
that crap happens. I did get to watch the Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
I got to watch. I'm up to date with the Doctor Who, and I really do love Bill. She's awesome.
She's good. I'm not a huge fan of her accent, but she's good otherwise.
Well, her accent reminds me so much of Rose, which that's it's not. I'm not so big on the accent so much as the character herself.
Yeah.
She
Well,
has that. She has that sass that Clara and Rose had, but at the same time, she's a lot more of her own person.
Mm.
Whereas Clara was very much like the doctor's mine, I'm in charge type thing. And Rose was very much, oh, doctor, I love you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Bill is very much, ooh, you're going to take me on an adventure? Awesome. Where are we going to go this time? It's more like what it is. He's her teacher.
Yeah.
It's very much like Ace and McCoy type relationship there.
Yeah. Still, my favorite companion is still Donna Noble, just because she's.
She was like
she,
her feistiness, and Bill has a bit of that feistiness. She's just not
Yeah.
quite as convinced about it,
Yeah. Look at him. He's a stick. He's so skinny. You hug. Yeah.
You get hugging that guy.
Yeah. You hug him. You get a paper cut. It's like.
I did like that.
Especially when she became Dr. Donna for a little bit. she's both intelligent and at that point, hyper intelligent and feisty. Okay. You got a little bit of that back when we got River, but that kind of hyper intelligent and feisty.
But at the same time, River was a bit too, doctor's my baby type,
Yeah. And she was a
Doctor,
little too cool to be Donna.
yeah.
Donna wasn't cool in the classic sense. She knew what
Donna
she
had that.
wanted, but she wasn't like, well, I've got to be kind of
You
slick
see,
and cool.
The thing is, Donna had that chav in her that Rose had, whereas River didn't. River was a scientist. River was a doctor. She was actually by the end a professor. So she was a bit too classy for that.
Yeah. Oh yes, and Maidrock is telling us to tell you to look out for the Everfree vids. He's going to give us apparently videos from Everfree. So nifty.
Okay, puppy, I'm coming.
Groovy.
What do you want, monkey butt? You want the foot rest up? Okay, come on, Jack. With Luna, get half off carpets.
What's underneath there, Jack? Hurry up, get that stuff underneath there. Hurry up, get
Was that the turtle? No.
Get it. Hurry up, get that stuff out of there.
Our
The
turtle.
value of thy bits has been doubled.
Oh no! Now I have to Photoshop that now. Your room flooring has been doubled.
Jack, come on, bring it over here for me. What is it, Jack? Bring it over here. You can go underneath. You're smaller than I am. Come on. Let me see what you found. Bring it all out of there.
Because that is the nerd thing to do.
Well, and did you spread around that, maybe she was born with it. Maybe it was Marbleine picture around.
I passed it to a couple of my other groups, but that was about it.
But
You should
You didn't bring nothing out of there. What is that?
you should totally
Give me that. What
put
is
that on the channel too.
Jack, I need to get out of here. What are you gonna
but aha. Anyway. Let's see. Oh.
770
and
go to Luna.
Oh, and have you? Okay, you saw the episode. So, spoilers if you haven't seen the most recent Doctor Who episode. So, jump
Yes.
ahead a few minutes if you're watching this, stream. Okay, at the end,
Yeah.
when he takes, was it Mexican food in, just to see
Yeah.
whoever's in the vault. Okay, that's got to be Missy or the Master or somebody like that in that line
Yeah.
of regenerations, because there's nobody else who he would be that interested in having a meal with, and
And
would
if you
start
think
playing
about it-
upbeat music when he said, some people, some kids were attacked. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's very much like I almost said Picard and Gandalf. No, it was very much like Magneto and Xavier in the second X-Men movie,
Mhm.
like the original X-Men movies
yeah.
with Gandalf and Picard.
Patrick Stewart,
How-
Ian McKellen.
Yeah. How he had him in that plastic prison so that he couldn't escape, and they and I could definitely see that being Missy there.
Yeah, I mean it's the only one that makes sense to me. I mean, it's basically either there's only two beings that he would be that interested in having a meal with, himself and the master. And none of his regenerations would have heard
That's
the kid.
true.
The kids are a bunch of kids got swallowed up by a house, and then go turn to a cheery music other than the master or Missy.
Or the Valeyard.
Oh, Valyard, but I don't unless they're going to severely straighten out the Valyard's just bottomless well of continuity problems. You know,
True. But
it,
I'm just saying, those
yeah,
are the only
yeah. That,
two.
but then again, that's also the Doctor.
Exactly.
So technically, it still counts as one of my two people. But
True. But no, I was saying,
yeah,
because you said it would make sense if it were the Doctor or Missy, but the Doctor wouldn't get excited. And I'm like, if he were the Valeyard,
yeah. But I
or
gotta
she
think.
were the Valeyard.
But I gotta think that I would, if I was trying to do continuity for that, I was trying to master the continuity for this, for Doctor Who, and trying to create a coherent continuity and say, oh,
I would
do
rather
all this.
see the continuity.
Yeah. It's like the Valyard is just such, and there's the other problem with the Valyard. It's just from a production standpoint, is that if it's the Valyard is one regeneration. He's one face of the Doctor, and if he's one face of the Doctor, um, you know, and that Doctor, that person, if he's not dead, he's probably doesn't look like he did back when he did the Valyard. He played the Valyard, so.
True.
So from a continuity, so if he regenerated, he would just be another Doctor.
True.
So
Oh, I know.
you cut out.
I said, oh, I know.
Okay,
But I
yeah,
was just,
yeah, uh, yeah. So that's the. Frankly, at that point, the Valyard is just it's such a mess for continuity
oh,
that
yeah.
that I may just not put him in there. Maybe someday they would have to basically do some continuity nuking and just retcon the Valyard completely, just so that he could be consistent. You'd have to retcon him so that you could bring him into the universe as a consistent thing. You'd have to have some sort of kind of apocalyptic event to It's like what they did basically um, with the 50th anniversary thing. They basically said,
Yeah.
okay, we when we started New Who, we basically locked the Time Lords away, so that we could deal with simpler stories. We could do it without having.
I don't think, Madrock, I don't think it would be Clara. Because Clara was a teacher. She cared about kids. She wouldn't be excited that that kids were eaten by a house.
And we never
Because
saw her play
Madrox,
piano.
because Madrox said, "What if it's the one girl who's with the stopped heart thing?"
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they basically with the Time War, with the 50th anniversary, they retconned, they nuked continuity to a certain extent, just enough that they could everything else made sense from the perspective of the viewer.
and
It,
and they
and
managed to straighten it out. It's
yes,
kind of like the Gordian knot, because the continuity in Doctor Who ever since the late 70s, early 80s has been very skewy and very messed up.
yeah,
So
yeah, they
they
just said
managed, they just like, screw it, I'm going to chop it off here, straighten it out.
yes. So now and now they can still have that simple thing where they don't have to worry about the Time Lords because they're somewhere. We don't know where, but they're somewhere.
They're at the end of time. Remember? They were frozen. They were locked at the end of time because in the last Clara episode, that's where he went. He managed to break through that barrier that had them frozen so that he could use their Time Lord tech, their upgraded Time Lord tech, to steal Clara at the moment of her death and save her.
Yeah. Well, they're not, and now that
I'm
it's not.
talking to a dude from Texas. 80s is their winter weather. I hate that weather. Oh, I agree. I hate 80-degree weather. But I'm just saying, he's from Texas. 80 degrees is like springtime for him.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a if if it stays at 80 degrees in July, it's a freaking miracle. That would be a freaking
It's supposed to
miracle.
be up to 80s next week, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's 54 right now, apparently.
Oh, 1 second. Let me check the weather on my thing here. Let's see what the current temperature is. Current
It's
temperature. Oh, come on. It's being a. What?
Don't worry, Ma. It's only going to get up to 82 on Tuesday. Wednesday, 81. And then it's down to 70s. 58, 68, 61, 70, 82, 81, 76, 73, 70. That's the next 10-day forecast.
See, today's high is 88 degrees.
It's almost 90 over by him right now.
Well, today's high will be 88. Right now it's 75.
Oh.
But the humidity is off the charts because we're getting rain. Yeah, it's gonna drop a little bit because of the rain. But yeah, we break 90. Sunday we hit 90, and Monday we break it. Yeah, it won't be long. By June it'll be in the 90s, and by July, mid-June we'll be in the hundreds, and we'll stay in the hundreds until September.
October.
September, maybe we may break down into the 90s a little bit. And
yeah, this is why we don't go to Texas or Florida, because the same thing in Florida. Only Florida has more hurricanes.
And depending on where you are, more humidity. Where I'm at now, it's hot here. It's hot here, but Houston.
It's a dry heat.
It's not super dry, but it's not near as humid as Houston. Houston is absolutely destroying. Like, you walk out and you are drenched in sweat because it's just that hot and humid. I went down there one time during the summer for something, and like spent as much.
Yeah, well, the Cubs won last year. They're too cocky, and they're like, we don't need to win again. That's not, they're trying too hard. They did last year. They're in fourth place. If they lose tonight, they could be in fifth. Mm-hmm. And if the other teams ahead of them lose or win.
And Rangers aren't doing particularly well either, but they won't stop trading away pitching, like young pitching. It's like, stop doing that.
It's because Grandpa Ross is now Dancing with the Stars instead of pitching. Okay, instead of catching. I don't know these things. How do I know? They have our catchers pitching anyway. So what's? Hey! What they do in the locker room is totally up to them. If they want to pitch and catch, they want to take turns. That's up to them.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. So I mean, and So it will be interesting to see what they do with this. Whether the vault's probably got something to do with uh, the
Missy.
the doctor's regeneration, since obviously he's
Maybe.
going to regenerate at some point during this year
He's
because,
regenerating. No, he's regenerating on the Christmas special, they said.
okay, well, he's definitely going to.
But yeah.
Alex is asking if it's safe to come in.
Yes, it's safe. Yes, it's safe. Ish. Juvianing.
How would you describe it? We're
This is
having a
how
bit. There is logic in what I said.
that's how I describe it. The doctor is in.
But I'm curious. I'm curious as to what they're gonna pick for the next one, the next doctor, because
I kind of I know there've been rumors like Haley Atwood, the lady who played Agent Carter. I know was being had mentioned it, but I don't think they should do a woman doctor right now because they just did that with Missy.
yeah, and I've also heard other rumors that say it's I forget his name, but it was some sort of ginger guy, and I kind of want what?
I don't know about that. The ginger thing. It's just
I want a
overplayed.
ginger doctor.
It's just overplayed.
It's fun though. It's like it's still a fun. It doesn't do anything to the story except for make one good joke, and if he's a good doctor anyway, you get a
Yeah,
bonus little joke.
I care more about who the doctor is than who.
Well, I mean, if it's a good doctor anyway, and it's like, okay, these two guys are equally as good for the role, but we can make a ginger joke with this one. you know, these two are equally matched, and that one's got ginger. It's like, I'd like to have that joke, if nothing else, but to see it would be really funny. Okay, it is ginger. Okay, he comes in, finally ginger. And then he does the Tenet thing, like when he walks into the TARDIS. I don't like it. That would be the best way to do that. Like, I don't like it. But yeah, there's no telling. As serious as Capaldi is, he's a very serious doctor. I'm guessing they're gonna go probably something comedic again.
Like
True.
Matt Smith.
True. I mean, they had the funny doctor, and now they're gonna do the. I mean, they had the serious doctor, but he's still funny in a way. I mean, he's still silly, but he's more that grandfatherly silly.
He's
you
grumpy
know,
silly.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he's kind of that grumpy silly instead of the kind of Matt Smith, Tenet sometimes silly.
Yeah.
It may just be another cool kind
But
of
at
a
least
cool
he's not
doctor.
Eccleston.
I
He's
don't.
No.
Sorry, it cut out a little bit. What was that?
Oh no, I was talking to my mom.
Okay, yeah.
Just wanted to know what he was up to. How much is that puppy in the window?
Yeah, I don't hate Eccleston. But then again, if he wasn't my first introduction to the Doctor, I don't know how I would have thought about him.
He was just too emo.
Well, I mean, they did have the reasoning for that. Was he was kind of like, you know, he was the one right after the war, and at the time it made sense, that he was it was right after the war.
I'm
He'd done all
waiting.
the terrible things, and this was the remorseful doctor, and then you had the
He didn't seem so remorseful.
nice. What am I talking about? But he was born at the end of the war, and so you know he still had that kind of warlike edge. And then Tennant took it up and said, he was the one who regrets, and Smith was the one who forgets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the Capaldi is the one that yells at you and calls you pudding for brains.
Pudding Brian. Brian calls me Pudding Brian.
Yes, I do. And you deserve it.
Only when I put pudding on my brain.
I hated that then, and I hate it now. Don't put pudding on my head.
But
I
you
haven't
look
watched.
so good as a pudding Brian.
I haven't
Pudding
watched in
is
a
not a
while.
fashion statement.
It's a yummy fashion statement. You look so yummy.
I still need work. It still needs a lot of work on that. I haven't actually listened to
Yeah.
myself do that voice and worked on
I
matching.
know I still need I need to work on mine too. I've stopped for a while.
But yeah, I maybe we'll get another. Ooh, I'm cool. Look at me, I'm cool. Oh no, I'm wearing sand shoes. Kind of doctor.
Eh,
I don't know. We'll see. It.
Lots of
That's
planets
all.
have a north, and lots of
Regeneration.
planets have megalomaniacal mice trying to take over the world.
Regeneration's a lottery, isn't it? But yeah, it's just. And the thing
As for
about.
the episode itself, though, I really liked it because at first when I saw it, like first few minutes of it, I'm like, I've seen this episode of Extreme Ghostbusters where the house was eating people. And it was seriously reminded me of that episode. Like as soon as they as soon as they went to the house,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna start eating people. And then that dude was stuck in the wall, and I'm like, holy shades of home is where the horror is.
Mm-hmm. And more and more and more, and then we get.
And then we get the daddy is actually the son,
Mm-mm.
and I'm like, ooh, that is a nice twist.
Yep, and it's a very Doctor Who episode. It's a very.
It is. It's very. It gives you a sense of sympathy for the bad guy,
Oh yeah, and
which
this.
they do so nicely in the New Who. They give you so much more character than just, oh, this is a good guy, this is a bad guy. The only ones they do that for are the Daleks and the Cybermen.
But
And even
they've also been stripped of their humanity and anything
exactly,
else. So that makes the lesson there
and even
is don't strip
still
people of
had
their
some
humanity.
episodes, and even then there were still some episodes where the Dalek or the Cyberman was actually given sympathy.
Yeah, or they were like yeah, and like the human Dalek crossbreed that had the kind of one eye and kind of the tentacles off his head and the
Mm-hmm.
exposed brain in that guy. He's like, you know, this is a guy who could lead you out of the darkness. He's got not only, but he's got Dalek stuff, but he's also got some of the good stuff that comes with mixing with humans. The ability to see past this stuff that he could lead you out of the darkness, make you better.
And then
No,
the
kill them. Ugh.
and then that episode where they went inside the Dalek and how it's like humanity is a defect.
Yeah, and they just like, yeah. Well, yeah, it's
Or
like,
the episode where Clara was a Dalek.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
they've it's much trickier storytelling to tell a story where you don't have a pure evil villain and, this guy's all good and this guy's all bad sort of thing. And it's hard to
And
do
it
that
makes
sort of
it
story.
feel so
Har-
much more real. You know,
where the villain is something, that they're a villain not because we want to do evil, but because they wanted to do something good or basic to survival. They just went about it the wrong way because they had no other choice, you know. And so, I mean, they went about it the wrong way, but they
yeah.
were their intentions were good. They just went about it the wrong way because they were
Some of the
ignorant.
episodes where you can't even tell if they're good or bad. You know, the good guys end up being the bad guys.
And
You
then you
know,
have
the
to,
ones that you thought were the good guys and you're trying to help turn out to be the bad guys in the end. And I love those stories because they make you think, you know?
but what was I gonna say? Yeah, it makes me want them to bring back Doctor Who to Netflix. I know they're took it off probably to
Oh,
to get
um,
uh, that, but to get the DVD sales up because nobody was buying DVD sales because they could just get on Netflix and watch it there. But yeah, I gotta imagine at some point that'll probably come back just as a way of, hey, you want to get caught up and watch it with us? Here's this, you know, and keep it up there for 6 months and then drop it off after you
I'm
launch another
giving you a
DVD.
link. It's not all of them yet because it takes forever to upload them. But
Okay, well, yeah, uh,
that's at
yeah,
least most of the first Doctor.
okay, yeah. There's some stuff on YouTube with it, and they have been. The one thing I will give the BBC credit for is they've kind of been okay. You know how, well, people will upload like mini, like little clips of like QI and Doctor Who and such, like, oh, this is a really awesome clip. The BBC has basically gone, okay, you really like these clips, we're just gonna upload them on our channel and they'll be official, and there you go, you still have them, but we get our stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, which I think that was, they did that with that, and they did that with QI, which QI is very, like like Doctor Who is also it's very good for short clips. Short clips can do a lot for that thing, um,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, there's this question about this, and then they're going to go on a bit of a banter about it for a few minutes, and it's funny, and then you move on. So it's like, oh, well, if same thing Monty Python did. They're like, okay, you're putting all our stuff on YouTube, it's going to be on there one way or another. We're never going to be able to completely wipe it off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to upload it ourselves, and you can watch it on our official channel, and we'll still get the credit for it. We'll get the advertising revenue, and you won't watch it on theirs because ours is going to be in better quality, and all of it's going to be in one place.
Yeah.
um, it's that kind of co-opting what they were going, what people wanted anyway, just using what's popular in online right now. Okay, well, let's just re-upload that as under our thing legally and just go, well, give us some ad revenue right now.
Yeah.
um,
I mean, why not? And it's a smart deal for them.
yeah.
I agree.
Uh, And interesting. Let's see. I know you said something about they've about was it they haven't this season hasn't seen any. I mean, it's fairly new. It's only 3 episodes in. We haven't had
4.
any 4. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
lost count. But we haven't had any like classic returning villain. Oh, I guess we was Missy here. Has Missy shown up this season yet?
No, she hasn't. The first,
Well,
whoa.
that
The
we know
first
of.
episode. Well, yeah, that we know of. It. She might be the bad guy in the wall, but the first episode was, I think, when we met
Met
her,
Bill.
and that was the Puddle people.
Pilot, yeah,
Um,
pilot.
Yeah, that was the Puddles. Then the second episode. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, we've had 4 so far.
Okay.
I
But yeah,
didn't know.
there hasn't. See, I don't think we've had any like recurring
We
villains
haven't
so
had
far.
Cybermen or Ice Warriors or Centaurans
Daleks.
or
Oh,
Daleks.
I want Centaurans. I want to see the little potato people again.
I know. I want to see. I want to see the Centaurans. I want to see our buddy Centauran Strax. I am not a potato.
I'm sorry, I think you'll find you
Oh,
are.
yeah. The second episode was Smile. That was the
Yeah,
one
the
where
with the
Smile or
robots.
you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thin Ice, which was the creature under the
on the
ice.
Thames, and
Yeah.
then this
And
last
this last
one.
was Knock Knock, which was the house.
Yeah. So far this season, no returning villains that we know of. We did get. I think last year we got Cyberman and Missy. Or was that the year before? It's been so long since last season because I think they took an extra.
Missy had the Cybermen. No, Missy had the Daleks last season. The season before she had the Cybermen.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think there were Zygons last season too.
Yeah. Oh, and that brings me to a thought I had the other day. We're building up enough doctors now that if you could, we already had the 50th, which was cool enough as it is. But we can, if you could wrangle Eccleston, Tennant, and Smith, you could have, like, once, I know it's not going to happen this season because everything's already cashed in and everybody, we would have heard about, a big group event, but you could, if with the next.
They usually do it on an anniversary.
A big anniversary.
So maybe the 55th anniversary they might do it.
That would be interesting because that would be. Let's see. That would
the
be
5 Doctors maybe. Again,
Yeah.
They already had the 5 Doctors though.
But
that was,
that would be a throwback. It's like, oh yeah, the 5 Doctors on the 55th. You can see living Doctors. You'd have whoever's the next one, Capaldi, Tennant, Smith, and Eccleston if you can get him.
And maybe McCoy as like a throwback.
Well,
And I know McCoy would, but
oh yeah, you would. But would it make consistent continuity because Tennant and Eccleston still look okay. They could still easily pull off their Doctors without regeneration.
No, he wouldn't be as the Doctor. It could be, a time loop type thing, like they did with the time shift.
Time crash or what it was.
It was time. It was time shift. I think it was, or time crash.
Yeah. So
where they had where they had the and it's like, oh, time was changed because you got older for this reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. We'll see how many living Doctors do we have? I mean, we have those.
We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We
So 4 on.
John
all-
Hurt, 4 Doctor died, and the first 3 doctors are dead.
Yeah, Hurt's no longer with us, so we basically have everybody but the first 3 and Hurt. And
Yeah.
so I mean,
Jack, stop that.
so
Let go
we're-
of the kitty.
so
Jack,
we're left with
you are not Trump. Stop grabbing the pussy.
so we're in so I mean, you could have them, I guess, come in as something else, but it would be interesting for 55th.
I mean, like they did with Tom Baker in as the caretaker.
Yeah. Oh, you'll visit a lot of you'll before the end you'll visit a lot of familiar faces, that but just the old favorites. It'd be interesting to see. Oh,
No.
that would be. Oh, I just had an idea. No, I don't know that it would work, but it would be funny if interesting if like it like during during one of his. It's already in the books right now what they've got, but it would be interesting if they had. I guess they could just take they could do some special effects with footage they already have, but if like during one of his next regenerations, like you see him kind of like during the regeneration kind of cycling between faces for a while, like you just see old doctor faces.
They did actually use something like that with he's over here.
I'd heard something of that, but I couldn't remember what, and then they used that.
They used a bunch of the old doctors' faces in I think it was the first episode.
Yeah,
I think it was
the 11th hour. Yeah, the 11th hour.
Where it's like, you know who I am.
Yeah, and then it plays the dun 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 dun, and then the big eye goes, "Oh, I'm leaving."
Yeah. Yes, I'm going home.
Yeah. Oh, I'm leaving. Yeah. Which is always, that's one of my favorite things that the Doctor does, is just saying, "I'm the Doctor," and that being enough to run a lot of villains off. It's like,
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Do you really want to come up against me?
I'm the Doctor.
Just like in one of my favorite monologues
The
was
Pandorica
where he was
speech.
Yes, the Pandorica.
Hello, Stonehenge.
Somebody actually went and did all of the did that monologue with each of the original Doctors, like voicing the original Doctors.
Yeah.
And he did a really great Troughton impression.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah. It's like, remember every black day I ever stopped you. And then, do the smart thing.
Let somebody
what I
else
try
go first.
and the whole thing while they're whizzing about, it's like, basically, I forget what he says, but basically, hold still, because I am talking, and they all just freeze. It's like,
Yeah.
better. It's like, yeah, that's the Doctor.
Yeah. That was the epitome of the Doctor right there.
Like, yes, he will do a lot of good things. He will do his best to help out. But don't cross him and try and, commit genocide or do any heinous acts, because it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well for people who do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Thank you.
But I am very curious as to what they're going to do with that. And I don't know if I'm tempted whether to say it or not. You talked about other people. You listen enough to rumors to hear people that are kind of
interested in the part.
Talked about things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also mention of Sims, the 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 first kind of master of New Who, being involved in some way. I don't know how, and I don't know why, but that he is involved in some manner or other. I don't know. That's
Who?
a rumor I heard. The guy who played the master during Tennant's run.
Sim?
Yeah, Sim. Yeah, he's involved in some way. Don't know whether it's a flashback, it's some weird temporal thing, but he's involved somehow. Uh, but I don't know why you would, you why you would do that with. You've already got Missy, but
Unless maybe he's the one who's stuck in the.
that has been a theory that's been bantied around. Is that and again, this is rumor on top of rumor that I think I heard. I overheard hearsay. I've heard some people saying that he's involved. Let me check. Let me check real quick. But on Sims. Let's see. Yeah, John Sim returning to Doctor Who. How is this happening exactly? Yeah, this is from April. I don't, there's not, nobody's really, John Sim is coming back as the Master in some regard. We don't know, it's going to be a Master versus Master showdown or something. I don't know. Or maybe this Missy is a false
know one-
Master. Ooh.
We know one thing though. It will be a masterful performance.
But I liked Sim. I liked him. I know you didn't care for him as much because he wasn't like the old Master.
Yeah, he wasn't master enough. I mean, he was good as a villain, but he just wasn't the master. You know what it might be?
What's that?
Missy. I mean, he's not Missy. I mean, it might be Missy as Missy might be the Ronnie or something. But something happened that mucked with her brain.
Or
Man, Pucky, you need a new nappy.
or it's showing. They're gonna show the way.
You.
The way Missy came to be, the Master's regeneration, the Master's restoration and regeneration into Missy.
Maybe.
That would make sense, and it would cover something we don't know anything about. It's like, okay, how did you come back?
Yeah. Stop it!
Weren't you dead or something?
You stinky butt.
Everything all right?
No, the puppy is spitting on me with a straw, and he smells like poo-poo.
Oh.
Go to grandma. Grandma's gonna change your nappy. I don't do baby nappies. Actually, I just don't do nappies in general. But go away. No.
And maybe they'll reopen. Maybe Gallifrey will be kind of restored to its normal place. And
Ew,
then,
you stinky butt.
and then they'll open up kind of the Gallifrey stories. Kind of, we'll have,
Maybe.
like Classic Who used to have the Doctor actually go to Gallifrey occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah.
For every once in a while. I mean, he did kind of already go to Gallifrey with Capaldi because he went to Gallifrey through the wall, through chipping at the wall, in that one episode. But Be interesting if there were like it was established that
Actually, it turned out that wasn't the wall. If you remember, that was just his will that he was trapped inside.
well, I mean, I was just referencing what episode it was. It was just the
Mm-hmm.
physical thing that was there was a wall,
Yeah.
and that's what he was chipping at. But just to reference the right episode, because then he turned up in on Gallifrey. But it would be interesting if Gallifrey is just open for business now, and the Time Lords have escaped, and now you're going to get all those classic Time Lords that we had in Classic Who. Now that the Doctor's kind of built up his rogues gallery, and we've seen, I guess, probably most of the old classic ones have shown up at some point or another in New Who. Most of them. I'm not an expert, so I wouldn't know if there's any major ones that haven't quite made it back yet. But we could stare.
I'm trying to think of ones that haven't. Let's see. The Centaurans have. The Zygons have. There is one that I would love to see that story. There was an episode of the Seventh Doctor's called Battlefield, where it turns out that the Doctor is Merlin. And it's a future version of the Doctor because the McCoy didn't know he was Merlin. But Morgana recognized him as Merlin and fought, there was this huge battle and stuff. And the ship recognized him as Merlin. So I would love to see that happen at some point.
Yeah.
Especially, it would have especially been great if it were with this Doctor, because he's
got the kind of magician's look to him.
he has that wizardly look, and he's older, and he even has the velvet robes.
Yeah, and it would be
jacket of his.
Well, like River Song said, if there's a great wizard or magician or something, it's usually him.
Aw, Jack's singing. He has a karaoke mic and he's singing along to it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So I guess, well, it's only been since Smith left. Well, no, wait. A Deep Breath, we got, didn't we see Strax in Deep Breath as well?
Yes.
Yes, so that was the last time I think we saw Strax. Just thinking about when the last time is we saw Sontarans and Sontaran.
Sontaran.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Sontarans since, I guess, the Sontaran stratagem. I mean, they might have been there at Stonehenge, but I think it's the last time. Yeah, we never saw them. I don't know what the Sontaran spaceship looks like. I don't.
Anyway. We did. If you follow side, spin-offs, we did see them in Sarah Jane Adventures.
I don't follow those. It's like keeping the Doctor Who timeline straight is tricky enough as it is. It's like,
but it's Sarah Jane.
Yeah. And now they've got Class, so that's going to be a whole nother set of...
Class is not... I mean, it did have the Doctor in an episode or two, but...
It's in the same universe, so...
It is. And, I mean, it takes place in the same school, in Coal Hill School.
But yeah, I know the Doctor doesn't really make much more than a cameo there, but it you know
Don't throw soda.
you still have to keep your continuity straight with what's going on in the main series.
True. I mean, they do a pretty decent job as far as, because they don't really bring that much up, but they
Yeah.
do have this little nod to, they have this wall in Coal Hill School, they have this wall of remembrance
Mhm.
for all the teachers who died or disappeared on the job.
Mhm.
And they have Clara, they have Danny, and they have and they even have Ian and Barbara
Hmm.
on the wall, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It's
Although that does bring into question quite a few things because the doctor, I mean, the Ian and Barbara did steal a Dalek time ship and go back to their own timeline, and it was even referenced in some of the audios that Ian and Barbara lived out their lives. They lived out their full, very long lives in over there. So I guess they died since then, but no, he's not. He's okay. He's just sitting there. You want to sing? Sing along. Let me close this first.
yes. It should be interesting to see what the year brings us in terms of Doctor. I wonder when the announcement should be. I mean, imagine it'll be before the Christmas special, if he's regenerating.
Probably to leave enough questions and leave enough thing, either August or October.
Yeah, it'll be long enough that they can film whatever doctor. The thing is, it's probably the doctor that they're getting. They're probably writing the episode specifically so that that doctor only has a few minutes worth of actual screen time, and so uh, they may go, okay, we'll just record it after we announce him, and go, here we're announcing him. We have enough time to record that 5 minutes of the last bits of the episode, because it won't take very long to edit. It won't take very long to record. Maybe a day, if that. Just here's half a day. We're gonna record a few takes of it, and then we'll put it in the can, send it to the editors, and they'll slap it on the end of the episode, and
Yeah.
there
I
it
mean,
goes.
depending on how he's going to regenerate. I
Yeah.
mean, it could be it could even end up being like the Eccleston to Tennant one, where it was the end of the last episode and he just regenerated and you didn't even see it until like it was literally just a few seconds of the new Doctor before it cut to credits. So
Yeah, it's like
it,
Barcelona.
it's like take maybe a half hour filming session if he's good.
Yeah. It'll probably take the time it will take him to pick out his outfit as the Doctor will probably be longer than it takes to actually film his bit of the regeneration,
Yeah.
because you know that's got to be, if you are going to become the Doctor, you know picking out your costume, what you're going to wear as the Doctor has got to be a huge decision. It's like I'm
Oh,
sure
I
you're
know.
talking with I'm sure you're talking with it's a combined effort of both the costume
Wardrobe
people
and
and the person who's going to play, because they
mm,
also have to be comfortable, and it's going to be their trademark. So I would imagine
yeah.
when they do discuss it with them, it's like, this is going to be your
I mean,
trademark, Because I think I heard.
I mean, Johnny Depp to become when Johnny Depp went for Jack Sparrow, that was all him. That entire outfit was all him. He went into auditions like that.
and I seem to remember Smith talking about that he talked with them and he's like, yeah, I want to do something, kind of Indiana Jones-ish, kind of that kind of tweed look. And he ended up doing that for his first outfit. And then you can switch it later because they have switched before. Smith switched basically halfway through his stuff. He switched from the kind of the tweed, which I really liked for him. It worked really well.
It did.
And then he went to the suit, the other suit. But
And I mean, Tennant had like 4 outfits.
weren't they mostly just the same kind of?
There were 3 main ones, and then he had another one in I think 1 or 2 episodes.
It was mostly
two episodes he had a different one because he had he was the school teacher when he was in the Chameleon arc. But mainly he had 3 specific outfits. One was solid blue,
Yeah.
one was a gray pinstripe, and one was a brown pinstripe.
Yeah. But they were all kind of the
same
same general idea.
And he had like 2 or 3 different color sand shoes.
They're not sand shoes. Yes, they are.
We got the chin and sand shoes. Hey, get out of the fish tank. What did you do? Why'd you kill the fishy? Why'd you kill the fishy? Jack is a sardine killer. It's not a sardine, but you killed Rosie. Oh no, shit! I'm gonna kill your mama. She put this right at the door, so you open the door to the critter's cage and. Hungry? Hold it for you. You gotta catch it. Catch it. No, not yet. Ah, shit. It fell. Now he's not gonna eat it because it's not moving. I mean, he bathed in his baby food instead of get that out of there! Go. Yeah. We have a puppy who likes to attack the fish. We have a cat that's, I'm pretty sure, schizophrenic. A turtle that's a renegade. A runaway. And a dragon that likes to bathe in baby food, apparently. We have a very fucked up menagerie.
C'est la vie. Yeah,
Come on, go get a napkin. I'm gonna change you. He does. He poo-pooed. And I'm not changing him. I don't do naked babies.
Oh, no, you don't. I gotta do it. I gotta do my
That it should be interesting. It's always an interesting thing is what's their fashion choice after you find out what kind of doctor they are. What's their fashion choice? Hopefully we don't get another run of what was the 6th Doctor who was taking full advantage of the color TV.
I liked that coat. Bugger off.
It's hideous.
6th Doctor coat, the Technicolor dream coat of somebody vomited up a rainbow.
All right, Jack, let's go. We gotta change your pants. Yes! All right, you're in trouble. I'm not taking you nowhere. Your mommy's gonna take you out, and I'm gonna get work done around here.
Oh, but
Put that up here now because she'll be coming home soon. Put that up on top of there. Oh no, that'll be it.
I'll do it in a sec.
I got it. I gotta get in that bedroom and start.
I thought we were going to the storage.
Yeah, well,
I thought we were going to clean out the garage and stuff, I mean.
I gotta get this moved out of the way so I can clean those walls
Okay.
in his room.
well, we are just about out of time as it is, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little Whovian
Discussion.
discussion.
Yeah, no ponies. No pony discussion this week, but we did get plenty of discussion on the new Doctor Who.
Yes.
Because let's face it, Doctor Who is, at least in my case, my love before ponies.
That and it's so exciting because we had that super long hiatus between
I know.
last
Although
season
honestly,
and
I
this.
think that's a good thing because it gives you more time to really embrace the depth of Clara's death. Because we haven't had a companion die in a while, like really die. I mean, sure, there was Jack, and Rose got banished to another dimension, and Donna had her memory erased, but none of them really died yet.
Yeah.
So Clara's death is really meaningful, and it gave it more emphasis by giving it a year-long hiatus. And then, of course, we had River Song's death in presumed death, or in the Husbands of River Song. So those 2 years between series was a good,
It also probably
period.
broke up the, when you're pressed for time all the time to write new scripts, you get sloppy. So it gives them some time to ferment some new ideas and throw them together, instead of
Yeah.
having to work. Because even if they're not actively working on it, if you're writing for Doctor Who, you have a memo pad with you at all times, or at least a phone where you can write an idea for an episode down.
You have your Potney pen.
Yeah, you have something to write down ideas for episodes at all times. And so if you have more time where you're not working on Doctor Who, you have more time to come up with episode ideas. Not full-fledged things necessarily, but here's a cool concept. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But-
Or, ooh, I got a plot twist. Now let's make the story go around it. I've had that a few times. I've had that feeling a few times.
Yeah. But anyway, it's hit 12, and it's time for us to go.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, do whatnot.
Sorry, Madrox, for taking over and giving it more fun.
Sorry I didn't speak much.
That's okay, Alex.
Okay.
Trixie forgives you.
We were going pretty hard on the Who stuff, so if you're not necessarily into Doctor Who,
Oh, I've watched a little bit of it.
yeah. Well, if you're not in as deep as at least I am, it could probably get a bit
Yeah, I
confusing.
haven't watched it in a while.
Doc is so far deeper than I am. It's not even funny. But you
I
have to at
mean,
least
I
be-
am Dr. McCrimmon for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, you
I
have to be
am
at
Doc.
least kind of steeped my depth into the Whovian universe to get to where you enjoy our level of conversation on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next week, where it should be quad reviews if we can find all the episodes to watch. Cheers.
Oh, don't worry. I'll try. And goodbye to you too.